Imagine having not one, but two hopelessly devoted bachelors falling over themselves for your attention. For most of us, that's the kind of fantasy reserved for glossy magazine spreads or romance novels. But for Belly Conklin, the protagonist of Prime Video's hit series The Summer I Turned Pretty, this is her everyday reality. The series, drenched in the soundtrack of Taylor Swift, is adapted from Jenny Han's best-selling books and has captivated audiences across the globe. Each Wednesday, as a new episode drops, fans collectively hold their breath, much like fantasy football enthusiasts checking their weekly lineups, eager to see how the latest twists in Belly's summer romance unfold. Over 3 seasons, the story chronicles Belly's entanglement with her childhood friends Conrad and Jeremiah Fisher. Conrad is the classic troubled but irresistible type, the morally grey, slightly aloof figure that many viewers have been secretly rooting for from the start. Jeremiah, in contrast, is sunny, affable, and approachable, the quintessential safe choice. Scroll through TikTok or Instagram fan edits, and you'll see Conrad dominating the conversation, the embodiment of desire wrapped in complication. As psychoanalyst Jacques Lacan might put it, we crave what we cannot have. Conrad's distant, enigmatic demeanor makes him endlessly alluring to Belly, and to viewers alike, his flaws romanticized through the lens of longing. Conrad's eventual growth, therapy sessions, moving out on his own, quitting marijuana, marks a sharp contrast to Jeremiah's perpetually immature behavior. It's a transformation that signals to viewers that Conrad is not just desirable but also the right choice. This outcome, while satisfying, feels inevitable. After all, Conrad's love for Belly predates the summer she turned pretty, grounding their connection in history, familiarity, and a deep, pre-existing affection. What makes the series particularly compelling, however, is how consciously it echoes the 1954 Audrey Hepburn classic Sabrina. In Season 1, the characters watch Sabrina at a drive-in cinema, with Belly declaring it her favorite movie. This isn't mere homage, it's a thematic blueprint. Sabrina also revolves around a love triangle involving 2 brothers, where the initially distant, Conrad-like character ultimately wins the heroine's heart. The promotional imagery for Season 3 of The Summer I Turned Pretty even mirrors Sabrina's iconic cover, the protagonist caught between 2 suitors, but with her gaze and heart firmly fixed on the one who represents responsibility and emotional maturity. Conrad, like Linus in Sabrina, is the successful, accomplished brother, Stanford graduate, aspiring doctor, while Jeremiah mirrors David's instability and impulsive choices, from failed academic pursuits to romantic missteps. The parallels extend beyond career paths. In Sabrina, the titular character takes a transformative trip to Paris, returning wiser and ready to commit. Belly undergoes her own subtle journey of self-discovery, minus a literal overseas escape, before she ultimately reunites with Conrad. Both narratives use the summer of love or the interlude of a single season to intensify the stakes, framing personal growth alongside romantic resolution. Digging deeper, it's clear that these stories aren't just about the suitors themselves, they're about the worlds they inhabit. In Sabrina, life among the Larrabee family is described as idyllic, almost heavenly. Belly feels similarly enchanted by the Fisher family's beach house on Cousins Beach, describing it as a fairy tale landscape that measures her life in summers rather than years. The romantic allure is inseparable from these settings, the sun-drenched beach, the sound of waves, the rhythm of seasonal gatherings. These environments offer a microcosm of freedom, intimacy, and excitement that is temporarily detached from real-life responsibilities. Yet, the backdrop is never just scenery, it shapes the drama, influences the choices, and amplifies the emotional stakes. The Fisher brothers' rivalry over Belly strains familial bonds, casting shadows over even joyous summers. The tension crescendos when personal grief, like the death of their mother, intersects with romantic competition, heightening the emotional rollercoaster for both characters and viewers. Jeremiah's reaction in this context reveals the darker side of immaturity. Not only does he pursue his grieving brother's ex-girlfriend, but he later claims that his breakup with Belly was more painful than losing his mother. It's a striking illustration of self-absorption and the hazards of idolizing youthful desire without the grounding of emotional intelligence. Conrad, in contrast, navigates his own pain with maturity, learning, and growth, qualities that ultimately cement him as the audience's preferred choice. The love triangle at the heart of The Summer I Turned Pretty has proven to be a global phenomenon. The show amassed 25 million viewers in its first week, a testament to how compelling these interpersonal dynamics can be. Audiences are drawn not only to the drama but to the emotional intimacy and parasocial investment the story encourages. Historically, love triangles have fascinated humanity for centuries. From ancient Greek mythology, Ariadne, Theseus, and Dionysus, to Shakespeare's Antony and Cleopatra, the allure of forbidden or contested desire is timeless. In more modern contexts, the trope dominated 2000s television with series like Gossip Girl, The Vampire Diaries, One Tree Hill, and Gilmore Girls. The pattern remains: viewers can't resist the tension of competing affections and the emotional payoff of a right choice being revealed. Psychologically, this fascination can be traced to two main impulses: the human desire to be wanted and the thrill of the chase. Making choices in romance, especially when options are few but intensely significant, amplifies emotional engagement. Schwartz's paradox of choice explains that while too many options create stress and decision paralysis, a limited, high-stakes set of choices, like choosing between two ardent suitors, can heighten excitement and satisfaction. Love triangles, in this sense, offer a romanticized model of life's cyclical decision-making. They allow audiences to explore emotional dilemmas in a heightened, narrative form, where the stakes are fantastical yet the feelings resonate on a deeply personal level. Even beyond the psychological mechanics, the setting and aesthetics play a crucial role. The Fisher Beach house, Cousins Beach itself, the nostalgic soundtrack, all contribute to a sense of temporality and memory that mirrors the characters' inner journeys. Ellie's life is measured in summers, each season representing a different stage of self-awareness, desire, and growth. The emotional pull isn't merely about who she ends up with, it's about reliving those fleeting moments of possibility and infatuation that define youth. For viewers, this connection is intoxicating, allowing a kind of vicarious nostalgia that feels intimate yet universally understood. Worth noting that the series' ability to entwine romance with personal development makes it more than just a teen drama. Conrad's evolution, Belly's introspection, and even Jeremiah's missteps reflect realistic, relatable processes of growth, self-discovery, and ethical grappling. These arcs provide audiences with more than escapist entertainment, they offer touchstones for reflecting on their own lives. The tension of love, the pain of rivalry, the bittersweet nature of choice, all become avenues for empathy and self-recognition. In this sense, The Summer I Turned Pretty achieves something rare: it blends fantasy with psychological resonance. Additionally, the show's multi-layered storytelling encourages conversation and fan engagement across platforms. Social media is flooded with analyses, fan edits, and debates about character choices, romantic alignment, and symbolic motifs. The series taps into a digital culture where parasocial relationships, emotional connections between viewers and fictional characters, are not only normalized but celebrated. Fans track character growth as diligently as they might follow a favorite influencer, sharing insights and forming communities around shared emotional investment. This engagement transforms viewing from a passive experience into a collective, participatory one, where the drama extends beyond the screen. Ultimately, the enduring appeal of The Summer I Turned Pretty lies in its combination of nostalgia, romance, and emotional authenticity. The show doesn't shy away from difficult feelings. Grief, jealousy, and disappointment are as present as joy and desire, but it presents them in a way that is deeply relatable. By intertwining universal themes with a visually lush, musically rich, and narratively satisfying framework, it elevates a simple love triangle into a multidimensional exploration of human emotion. The series reminds us why we are drawn to stories of longing and choice, because they echo the rhythms of our own lives, magnified, intensified, and beautifully dramatized. In a world where decisions are often mundane, choosing what to eat, which film to watch, or which route to take home, The Summer I Turned Pretty offers a delightful contrast. It lets us imagine stakes that feel monumental, loves that feel eternal, and summers that seem to last forever. Through Belly, Conrad, and Jeremiah, we experience the highs and lows of youth, the tension of desire, and the complexity of human connection, all wrapped in a warm, nostalgic, and emotionally resonant package. In doing so, the series secures its place not just as entertainment, but as a cultural phenomenon that speaks to the heart of why we are fascinated by love, choice, and the bittersweet magic of coming of age.